The global beauty industry is valued at over $600 billion, built almost entirely on a single commercial promise: flawless, translucent skin. But the biological reality of human skin cannot be hacked by a complex 10-step cosmetic routine. Skin is an organ. It is a dynamic, living barrier that acts as a direct reflection of geography, atmospheric climate, ancestral diet, and thousands of years of evolutionary adaptation. Across the globe, specific populations consistently exhibit highly resilient, structurally optimal skin. This phenomenon does not exist because of commercial laboratory products, but because of harsh environmental realities and scientifically backed local practices that have been refined over generations. This is the ultimate geographic truth behind the world's most pristine skin. We are stripping away the multi-billion-dollar marketing illusion to look at 10 countries where biology and environment create a perfect dermal baseline. Stick with me until the very end, because as we travel from the volcanic microalgae of glacial pools to the high-altitude vascular science of the Andes, we will uncover a hidden biological reality that the skincare industry deliberately conceals, a final reveal that proves why your current routine might actually be accelerating your skin's aging process. We begin our global investigation in South Korea. The Western world has heavily commercialized the Korean glass skin trend, transforming it into an intricate, multi-layered chemical routine designed to sell endless bottles of product. However, the ground reality in modern Korean dermatology is the exact opposite: aggressive skin minimalism. Expert Korean dermatologists focus almost entirely on the stratum corneum, which is the skin's outermost barrier. Rather than stripping the skin with harsh, synthetic acids to force artificial brightness, the actual standard practice relies on low pH cleansers and a heavy concentration of Centella asiatica, widely known in the region as Cica. Clinically, Cica contains madecassoside, a powerful organic compound that actively speeds up tissue regeneration, repairs cellular damage, and drastically reduces inflammation. Flawless skin in this region is not a cosmetic illusion created by high-gloss primers. It is the strict medical preservation of the lipid barrier against the heavy particulate pollution and intense seasonal shifts of East Asia. By keeping the skin's surface at its natural, slightly acidic state, local protocols prevent moisture loss before it can even begin. Across the sea in Japan, the cultural and dermal standard is not glass, but mochi skin, a semi-matte, deeply plump texture reminiscent of the traditional rice cake. The biological foundation of this texture is pure ceramide preservation. The air quality and coastal winds of Japan require a barrier that is incredibly dense and cohesive. Japanese skincare heavily utilizes a process known as double cleansing, but it is executed strictly with pH 5.5 formulas that perfectly match the skin's natural acid mantle. Over-cleansing with harsh surfactants destroys cellular cohesion, stripping away the essential fatty acids that hold skin cells together. By using gentle plant-derived cleansing oils followed by hydrating liquids packed with sodium hyaluronate, a significantly smaller molecular form of hyaluronic acid that penetrates deeper into the epidermis, Japanese routines lock moisture directly into the extracellular matrix. The result is an organ that retains high elasticity and a virtually poreless appearance without triggering excess sebum production or artificial oiliness. In France, skin health is not viewed as a luxury asset. It is legally recognized as a medical discipline, heavily supported by the state. The secret behind the celebrated French complexion is balneotherapy, which is the clinical treatment of disease and tissue degradation by bathing in mineral springs. French thermal spring water is not a marketing gimmick. It is a profound geological reality. Rainwater filters through volcanic rocks and deep underground limestone layers for decades, emerging in regions like La Roche-Posay and Avesnes naturally saturated with selenium, sulfur, and magnesium. Extensive scientific studies dictate that these specific minerals neutralize free radicals, reduce ultraviolet-induced cellular damage, and actively balance the skin's microbiome. French pharmacy regimens reject harsh physical exfoliants entirely, relying instead on the natural, anti-inflammatory properties of this thermal water to treat conditions like eczema, psoriasis, and daily atmospheric oxidative stress. It is a medical approach that prioritizes healing over alteration. Sailing north, Iceland presents one of the most hostile and unforgiving climates for human skin on Earth. Freezing sub-zero winds, extreme subarctic cold, and intense seasonal ultraviolet radiation require an extreme biological defense mechanism. The solution to this environmental stress is found in extremophiles, which are unique microorganisms capable of surviving lethal environmental pressures. Deep within Iceland's geothermal pools, scientists isolated a specific blue-green microalgae that thrives under extreme heat and pressure. Clinical research by local dermatologists has proven that this microalgae actively inhibits matrix metalloproteinase 1, an enzyme inside the human body responsible for breaking down collagen as we age. By applying extracts of these resilient extremophiles alongside locally sourced silica mud, Icelanders utilize nature's most rugged cellular defense mechanisms to prevent the physical degradation of their own skin structure, fighting off the drying, wrinkling effects of the harsh glacial atmosphere. In the Horn of Africa, specifically Somalia, the climate is arid, intensely hot, and unforgiving. For centuries, Somali women navigating this extreme heat have relied on kasil, a fine green powder derived from the dried and crushed leaves of the native gob tree. Kasil is a biological powerhouse that outperforms modern laboratory cleansers. It contains exceptionally high levels of natural saponins, which are phytochemical compounds that create a mild, soapy lather when mixed with water. Unlike synthetic surfactants used in commercial face washes that strip the epidermis of its natural oils and leave it vulnerable to sun damage, kasil cleanses selectively. Its inherent phytochemical properties neutralize acne-causing bacteria on contact, while its fine, powder texture acts as a gentle, non-micro-tearing exfoliant. It is a single-ingredient botanical solution that chemically balances the skin's oil production in a desert climate where moisture preservation is a matter of biological survival. Further north in Morocco, the approach to dermal health is rooted in a balance of extreme thermal hydration and deep physical exfoliation. The core of this practice is the traditional hammam, a rigorous steam bath environment that has existed for centuries. The intense heat and high ambient humidity of the steam room soften the stratum corneum, loosening dead skin cells and opening the pores. This allows black eucalyptus soap, which is naturally rich in antimicrobial oils, to safely lift dead squamous cells from the surface. This intense exfoliation is immediately followed by the application of pure, cold-pressed argan oil, endemic only to the semi-desert regions of Morocco. Argan oil is exceptionally high in squalene, oleic acid, and vitamin E. Because it seamlessly mimics the human skin's natural sebum, it instantly repairs the lipid barrier and prevents transepidermal water loss in a harsh, dry climate that would otherwise cause rapid premature aging. In India, skin health is inseparable from ancient Ayurvedic pharmacology, which has always treated internal inflammation as the root cause of external disease. The subcontinent's intense heat, high humidity, and extreme ultraviolet exposure necessitate aggressive anti-inflammatory intervention. The primary biological agent used across generations is curcuma longa, commonly known as turmeric. Turmeric contains curcumin, a scientifically proven, highly active polyphenol that directly inhibits pro-inflammatory enzymes in human tissue. When applied topically in traditional pastes alongside soothing sandalwood, It drastically reduces hyperpigmentation, calms cellular stress, and eliminates erythema, which is the unnatural redness caused by sun exposure. Indian skin protocols are not heavily focused on heavy topical moisture, but rather on managing the baseline cellular inflammation that leads to melanin overproduction, dark spots, and structural breakdown. Across the Atlantic, Brazil's unique geography provides its population with direct access to the highest concentration of botanical antioxidants on the planet. The dense ecosystem of the Amazon rainforest yields superfruits like açaí, buriti, and cupuaçu. Brazilian skin routines leverage these raw, potent ingredients to combat the aggressive equatorial sun. Buriti oil, for instance, contains the highest naturally occurring concentration of beta-carotene in the world, a figure exponentially higher than that found in carrots. Beta-carotene is a direct precursor to vitamin A. When absorbed by the skin, it accelerates cell turnover and acts as a natural biological shield against photoaging. Brazilian skin vitality is a direct result of feeding the dermis high-dose, raw-state antioxidants that neutralize environmental free radicals before they can attack the cellular DNA of the skin cells. In Greece, the Mediterranean climate dictates a diet and a skincare regimen heavily reliant on protective lipids and live probiotics. The baseline of Greek dermal health is extra virgin olive oil, which is packed with natural squalene and polyphenols that shield the skin against oxidative stress from the sea air. But the active secret lies in real, unpasteurized Greek yogurt, used topically as a healing mask for generations. Traditional yogurt contains high levels of naturally occurring lactic acid. Lactic acid is an alpha-hydroxy acid that works gently. It dissolves the microscopic chemical bonds that hold dead skin cells together, allowing them to slough off naturally without the mechanical damage and micro-tearing caused by physical face scrubs. It simultaneously acts as a natural humectant, drawing water molecules deep into the newly exposed layers of the epidermis. Finally, we look at Colombia, where high humidity and distinct mountain altitudes define the everyday environment. A dominant, ground-level reality in Colombian skincare is the topical use of raw, locally grown coffee grounds. This is not merely a cultural tradition. It is a highly effective application of vascular science. Caffeine is a potent, natural vasoconstrictor. When applied directly to the skin surface via a fresh scrub, it rapidly narrows the blood vessels beneath the dermis. This mechanical restriction immediately reduces puffiness, decreases localized fluid retention, and tightly pulls the skin, creating a visibly taut, firm, and energized appearance. It is an immediate, biological manipulation of localized blood flow that counteracts the skin-sagging effects of high-altitude atmospheric pressure. Now, we arrive at the big reveal, the underlying biological truth that the $600 billion global beauty industry actively hides from you. Perfect skin is not a mystery, and it is rarely a miracle of synthetic chemistry. Every single one of these global protocols succeeds because it treats the skin as a self-regulating ecosystem. The multi-step routines pushed by modern commercial brands do the exact opposite. They over-exfoliate, over-cleanse, and flood the skin with conflicting synthetic active ingredients. This constant chemical bombardment creates a state of chronic low-grade inflammation, forcing your skin to depend entirely on external products just to stay balanced. From the extremophiles of the Icelandic glaciers to the vasoconstricting caffeine of the Colombian highlands, human biology adapts to and utilizes its immediate environment. The ground reality is simple. Radiant skin is the physical byproduct of barrier protection, inflammation control, and cellular preservation. The global beauty industry sells the imitation. Geography provides the blueprint. Stay vigilant, stay curious, and always look past the commercial headlines, because the truth of our biology is often hiding behind a narrative that hasn't been updated in years.